Picture this, it's Monday morning, you're ready to tackle the week. Coffee in hand, you check your email. Bam! An email from your boss awaits. It's a detailed list of instructions for a task you already know how to do. Sound familiar? You, my friend, might be dealing with a micromanager. We've all been there. That feeling of your every move being watched, scrutinized, and, let's be honest, slightly suffocated. It's like trying to work with someone breathing down your neck, except they're probably using email or Slack instead of actual breath. Not a great scent. Micromanaging can turn even the most straightforward task into a stressful ordeal. It's like your boss is trying to conduct an orchestra, but instead of letting the musicians play, they're obsessed with controlling every note, every breath, every movement of the conductor's baton. Spoiler alert, the music doesn't flow well, but fear not, because navigating the choppy waters of micromanagement is possible. With a few strategic moves and a dash of humor, because let's face it, sometimes you just need to laugh, you can not only survive but thrive in this challenging work environment. Remember, it's all about finding the right balance and knowing when to push back gently. Setting boundaries is key. Politely but firmly, let your boss know you've got this. And don't underestimate the power of humor. A well-timed joke can diffuse tension and remind everyone that we're all human. Ultimately, it's about reclaiming your sense of control and confidence. You've got the skills, now show them. So why do bosses micromanage? Are they just hardwired to be control freaks? Well, sometimes maybe, but often it's more complicated. They could be insecure, inexperienced, or have a lack of trust in their team. Think of it like this. Imagine your boss is a tiny dog barking frantically at a passing truck. The truck in this case is the project you're working on. The barking doesn't stop the truck, it's just annoying. Micromanagement can stem from a fear of failure, a need for control, or even past experiences where they felt things slipped through the cracks. They might think they're being helpful, but in reality, they're stifling creativity and slowing down progress. Understanding the why behind the micromanagement can help you approach the situation with more empathy. Remember, your boss is human too, even if they sometimes act like a malfunctioning robot programmed to send, just checking in. Emails every 5 minutes. One of the best ways to handle a micromanaging boss is to become a master of anticipation. Think of yourself as a chess player, always thinking several moves ahead. If you know your boss tends to ask for updates every hour, surprise them by sending an update before they even think to ask. This proactive approach shows initiative and reassures your boss that things are under control. It's like preemptively answering a question they haven't even asked yet. It's like bringing a fire extinguisher to a fireworks show. Overkill maybe, but at least you're prepared. By anticipating your boss's needs and concerns, you can gradually build trust and demonstrate your ability to handle tasks independently. And who knows, maybe they'll even start to loosen the reins a little. Or at least they'll be so busy being impressed by your proactive prowess that they'll forget to micromanage for a few glorious minutes. When it comes to dealing with a micromanager, communication is your secret weapon. Think of it as the magic spell that keeps the micromanagement monster at bay. But not just any communication. It needs to be clear, concise, and frequent. Regular updates are crucial for keeping your boss in the loop and preventing them from feeling the need to constantly check in. But remember, nobody wants a novel-length email detailing every minute detail of your progress. Keep your updates brief, to the point, and focused on the big picture. Think of it like this. Your boss is like a goldfish swimming in a bowl. They have a short attention span and limited space for information. So, keep your updates short, sweet, and easy to digest. Section 5. Documentation, your micromanagement shield. In the world of micromanagement, documentation is your best friend. It's like having a magical shield that deflects unnecessary scrutiny and protects you from the dreaded. But I thought you said, conversations. Keep detailed records of your work, decisions made, and any communication with your boss. This not only helps you stay organized, but also provides evidence to support your actions should any questions arise. It's like having a receipt for every action you take. Boring maybe, but oh so satisfying when you need it. Think of it as creating a paper trail so robust that even the most determined micromanager will get lost in the maze of your meticulous documentation. It might seem tedious at first, but trust me, the peace of mind it brings is priceless. Section 6. Set healthy boundaries. Protect your time and sanity. Setting healthy boundaries is essential for surviving and thriving with a micromanaging boss. It's like building a fence around your workspace, a polite but firm way of saying this far, no further. This means learning to say no to unreasonable requests, delegating tasks when appropriate, and protecting your time for focused work. It's like training a puppy. You need to be consistent and firm to establish those boundaries. Remember, your time and energy are valuable. Don't be afraid to push back, respectfully of course, if you feel like your boss is encroaching on your every waking moment. As the wise Ron Swanson once said, "Give a man a fish, and you feed him for a day. Don't teach a man to fish and you feed yourself. He's a grown man. Fishing's not that hard." Section 7. Perspective shift. See it from their side. Now, before you start fashioning that voodoo doll in your boss's image, let's take a moment to consider their perspective. It might seem like an impossible task, but it's worth the effort. Yes, I know, it's hard to imagine things from their side of the desk, but bear with me. Try to put yourself in their shoes, even if just for a moment. Micromanaging, while incredibly frustrating, often stems from a place of good intention, misguided as it may be. They might be trying to ensure everything goes smoothly, even if their methods are overbearing. Your boss might be under pressure from their own superiors, dealing with trust issues from past experiences, or simply have a different work style than you. These factors can heavily influence their behavior. Remember that chihuahua barking at the truck? It might seem annoying, but there's often more to the story. Maybe it's just trying to warn the truck about a pothole up ahead. It has a reason for its actions, even if they seem irrational. Or maybe it's just a very loud chihuahua. Either way, there's a perspective we might not immediately see. By trying to see things from their point of view, you can approach the situation with more empathy and understanding. This shift in perspective can be incredibly powerful. This doesn't mean you have to excuse their behavior, but it can help you respond in a more constructive and less reactive way. Understanding their side can lead to better communication and a more harmonious work environment. Section 8. Feedback. The art of the gentle nudge. Sometimes the best way to address micromanagement is to gently nudge your boss in a different direction. This can be a subtle yet effective way to improve your working relationship and overall productivity. This requires a delicate touch, like trying to teach a cat to play fetch. It might not always go as planned, but it's worth a shot. Patience and persistence are key in this process. Start by expressing your appreciation for their guidance and support. Acknowledging their efforts can help create a positive atmosphere for the conversation. This helps to soften the blow and shows that you're not trying to undermine their authority. It's important to communicate that you value their input and are seeking a collaborative approach. Then, gently point out specific instances where their micromanagement is hindering your productivity or creativity. Be specific and provide clear examples to illustrate your point. For example, you could say something like, "I appreciate you checking in on this project. Your insights are valuable, but I feel confident in my ability to handle it independently, but I'll be sure to keep you updated on any major developments." This shows that you are responsible and capable. Remember, the goal is not to attack your boss, but to open up a dialogue and find a more balanced approach to working together. Effective communication can lead to a more harmonious and productive work environment for everyone involved. Section 9. When all else fails, seeking external support. If you've tried every trick in the book and your boss is still hell-bent on micromanaging your every move, it might be time to seek external support. This could mean talking to HR, a trusted mentor, or even considering a different role within the company. Remember, you deserve to work in an environment where you feel respected, trusted, and empowered to do your best work. If your current situation is making you feel stifled, undervalued, or just plain miserable, it's okay to explore other options. Think of it like this: if you were stuck on a roller coaster that just kept going in circles, wouldn't you eventually want to get off? Section 10. Turning the tide towards a healthier dynamic. Remember, dealing with a micromanaging boss is a marathon, not a sprint. It takes time, patience, and a good dose of humor to navigate these choppy waters. But with the right approach, you can turn the tide and create a more harmonious and productive working relationship. Focus on building trust, setting clear boundaries, and communicating effectively. And when in doubt, remember the wise words of the great philosopher Dolly Parton: find out who you are and do it on purpose. Section 11. Thrive. Don't just survive. You've got this. Dealing with a micromanaging boss can be tough, but it doesn't have to break you. By implementing these strategies, you can regain control of your work, your sanity, and maybe even teach your boss a thing or two about trust and delegation. Remember, you are talented, capable, and deserving of a workplace where you can thrive. So go forth, conquer those micromanagement monsters, and show them what you're truly made of. And hey, if all else fails, there's always the option of starting your own business where the only person you have to answer to is the office dog. Just please, don't let the power go to their head. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more advice on navigating the workplace like a pro.